Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, first off, thanks for stopping by. Secondly, let me explain to you a little bit what I do. Every day of 2024, I vowed to check out a new band or artist. And thanks to your guys' suggestions, I got quite a big list going, so I appreciate it. But now's not the time to get complacent. Let's keep the suggestions coming, so hit those comments and let me know what other bands or artists I should check out this year. But in any event, I check out 4 songs from each band or artist every single day, give you my quick thoughts on the songs individually, give you my ranking of those 4 songs, and finally give you my overview of the band. If you're wondering what band I'm doing today, well, you could just read that and see that I'm doing a band called Moodring. Now, I've heard the name Moodring thrown about in the metalcore circles, but I don't really know what they sound like, because I really don't think I've ever heard any snippets. So this was a recent suggestion, so I figured I should probably go in completely new to one of these and see what happens. So that's what I did. And without any further ado, let's jump into Moodring. So Moodring doesn't have a whole lot of material out. Their first EP was called Show Me the Real You. It was released back in 2021, I believe. And I checked out the self-titled track from that. Okay, so right off the bat, I have a problem with the song. It's so freaking quiet. When I started, I literally thought my speaker was broken because I'm seeing the Spotify needle move as if the song's playing, but I don't hear anything. Finally, about 20 seconds in, I could start to hear the faintest of sounds. Before, at around 30 seconds, it actually became audible finally. So this was a surprise. Like I said, I heard this name bandied about in metalcore circles, but this song was very shoegazy. But then finally near the end of the song, some, unclean vocal screams, if you will, finally make it into the song. And I did quite like the screaming. However, I wish it was a little higher in the mix. The musical element still kind of overpowered it. But that's kind of like what shoegaze is, so I guess it should have just been expected when I said, this is very shoegazy. Speaking of gazy, their first full-length album, released in 2022, I believe, was called Stargazer, not Stargazy. And the song I listened to was Disintegrate. So the lyrics are super dark, but also super strong. Dare I call them moody? You get it? Because the band's called Moodring. Okay, I'll continue on now. Overall, I really dug most of the song, or at least the first half of the song, and I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I can listen to that. But then the second half hit, and it just became unlistenable. Like, sorry, they just repeated the same line over and over again. Different vocal deliveries for the most part, but still, I could not get behind it. Alright, in 2023, they released 3 singles. I'm not sure if this is classified as an EP or not. I didn't see anywhere it was classified as an EP. Maybe it's a lead up to a new album this year. I don't really know, but since it was their newer material and I had to listen to 4 songs, I thought I might as well pick 2 of these 3. So I picked the first 2, starting with the first single, obviously. Black_Wave. Probably Black Wave for short, though. So, unlike the other 2 songs, this song starts off hard and heavy right off the top. The Uncleans are back in this track and much stronger than the first track, thankfully. And the Uncleans really didn't make much of an appearance in the second track at all. A couple of those lines were more screamed, but like the first track, it was still buried. So it was a welcome sight on this one to hear it like that. But it's not just the Uncleans that shine here. This is probably the best clean vocals I've heard as well. The other 2 songs just kind of leaned into the shoegaze cleans, which again, like the screams, were buried more in the mix to show off the musicality. And that's just not a style I enjoy. But, like I said, they remedied it here. It's still shoegazy in parts, but overall it's got more of a metalcore sound, and this is the type of shoegaze music that I could definitely get behind. And secondly, I listened to, Would You Wait For Me? So this one returns with the shoegaze intro. It's about 30 seconds, and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be another shoegazy song like the first two. Black Wave was the outlier. But then it dropped into like a nu metal part. It was super weird, but also super cool. The verses overall on this track are very strong. The chorus had some issues for me, notably in the vocal delivery on it, but still a really fun time overall. The lyrics are still on point, as all these songs really have been, so kudos to Moodring for being able to be great lyricists. But the surprise of this track was the unexpected breakdown at the end. It just kind of starts trailing off, and I think we're getting a shoegaze outro like we got the intro, and then just a 10-second breakdown hits to take us into the final seconds of the song. Very unexpected and very cool. Alright, so those are my thoughts on the 4 Moodring songs I checked out. Let's go ahead and rank these tracks. At number 1, we're going Black Wave. Super heavy, much more in the realm of music that I enjoy. Not that I'm usually into the super heavy stuff, but when contrasted with the shoegazy style, it definitely worked best for me on this track. At number 2, Would You Wait For Me? Once again, the new Moodring stuff I'm digging a lot more because they're mixing the different elements with the shoegaze. And again, that's a style of shoegaze I'm going to like a heck of a lot more than just straight up shoegaze. Speaking of straight up shoegaze, at number 3 is the first song I listened to. This is a very good shoegaze song, but like I said, I need different elements to make shoegaze music enjoyable to me. Show me the real you. And this just didn't have it. It had really good parts, but because it was in that shoegaze package, they just didn't stand out as much as I would have liked them to. And finally, for Disintegrate, I think under normal circumstances, this could have gotten up into the 2 or 3 spot, but the last half just lost me completely and put it at the bottom of this list. Alright, so my overall thoughts on Moodring are, when they're doing the shoegaze with some other elements, like we had the metalcore Black Wave or the nu metal Would You Wait For Me, it's a lot of fun and I can appreciate a lot more. The earlier stuff that falls into those shoegaze traps don't do a whole lot for me, unfortunately. But I'm very excited to see where they go, and once I'm done this, I'm going to check out that 3rd track and see if they can make it a perfect 3 for 3 of songs I enjoy. Because if so, look out for when that new Moodring album drops, and I'm going to be there. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This has been Emo Cat Dad Listens. I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad. If you're new here, like I mentioned earlier, drop some comments of bands or artists I should be checking out. If you're not new here and you still haven't done me that one favor I always ask, I'm going to ask you one more time, and this time I mean it. I need you to cut my wrists and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad out. Until next time, I want to hear you sad.